majority, they can steamroll through Parliament pretty much any legislation that they see fit, because we do not have proportional representation. And let's clarify the point about proportional representation. It's not just the fact that we need PR, it's the fact that we need first preference PR, not first, second, third, or fourth preference votes, which is absolute nonsense and was rejected previously at a referendum. I believe if it had been put to us that we were being offered first preference proportional representation instead of uh, first past the post, then a majority, not a particularly large majority, I would say, but a majority would have backed first preference proportional representation. So if people don't like what's happening, and obviously millions of people don't like it, they're very upset. Some of them have been so upset that they've seen fit to go onto the streets and riot. I don't advocate rioting, I advocate campaigning. Campaigning for real reform, socio-political reform is what we need. And it must be extensive. And the only way it can be delivered is by getting a large number of MPs in Parliament to circumvent or stop completely legislative tyranny ushered in by an elective dictatorship, which is entirely the product of first past the post. It's a completely unjust, unfair system. Reform UK, for example, and I don't support Reform UK. I think everybody knows my feelings about Nigel Farage and Richard Tice. But that said, the point I'm making is with 4.1 million votes, they secured just 5 MPs, and yet the Liberal Democrats have 71 MPs with fewer votes. It's just an absolutely unacceptable system. And this is why we're in this situation now, with Labour having such a landslide majority with just 20% of the eligible electorate. It's not a majority. They do not speak for the majority. They do not have majority consent. They are a minority elective dictatorship. And the legislation that they're using so far, as I explained in a previous video, was actually brought in by the Tories. And there's not really an awful lot of difference anyway. They're the uniparty convergence politics. So that said, does it really matter whether you vote Labour or Tories? Not particularly. It's just that Labour have been a little more overtly anti-nationalist, anti-white patriotic. And we all expected that to be the case. But it really is this simple. If you don't like it, and I know millions of you don't like it, I don't like first past the post. I refuse to participate in this completely unjust system. There is a solution, and that is we must all unite together to campaign for proportional representation. Once we have PR, we have a large number of MPs, and no matter who gets the majority of the votes, there will be no elective dictatorship and no legislative tyranny. In fact, Labour, and it's only just begun, they will now push through a whole raft of draconian legislation, citing these riots as the necessity to do it. So if you don't like it and you want to stop it, and you're not going to do it by rioting, you need to get together, you need to get organised. We all need to be singing from the same hymn sheet on this. We need to put forward a demand for proportional representation until our voice is so loud it can no longer be ignored. We are not going to win through first past the post. Everything is stacked against us. It is a completely rigged political system. I cannot say it more than I already have, and I can only reiterate, the road to freedom is proportional representation, and that also brings an end to the legislative tyranny that is created by first past the post.